Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Let's Make a Mill, where I'm just documenting my journey towards making $1 million. I'm the host, Eugene Vasquez, and I'm happy that you're watching this video today. I'm going to be talking about the Roth IRA. Now, I just spoke about the 401k, so I'm going to be talking about the Roth IRA and kind of what the difference is. Up front, I am fully transparent in everything I do, so I will be showing screenshots of my own accounts just for you, the viewers, so you know exactly what I'm invested in, and I don't hide anything. This is all about me trying to be as transparent as possible. So, quick difference between a Roth IRA and a 401k. A Roth IRA is offered through most typical brokerages, Vanguard, Fidelity, M1 Finance, Schwab, just to name a few. And just to put it out there, I go with Fidelity personally, but most people prefer or recommend Vanguard. So just something to think about. Even M1 Finance and Schwab, they're both great brokerages. I believe M1 Finance offers ETFs. From Vanguard, so you can go that route as well, or just anything in between. So 401k is only offered by an employer. Roth IRA you can get, if you can't get access to a 401k. Up front, you can only do $6,000 a year as of this video into a Roth IRA, so only $6,000 per year. Okay, versus a 401k which offers $19,500. All right, so the big difference. But anyways, let's continue on. So a Roth IRA it's a retirement vehicle, a retirement account, and you fund it with post-tax money versus a 401k where it's using pre-tax dollars. You're using post-tax dollars to fund a Roth IRA. What that means is if you get paid, let's say $1,000, let's say $500, right? You get paid $500. Whatever you take from that $500 after they take taxes and everything else, whatever you take from that $500, you can fund your you can fund your Roth IRA with that money, okay? By transferring it into a brokerage account and then investing into whatever you think is the best. For me personally, it's an index fund. So that's what a Roth IRA is. Let's talk about a couple benefits. What are some of the benefits of having a Roth IRA? All right. These are the benefits that I see. I'll put a link down below in the description to talk about, or links to, probably better, more subject matter expert websites like Investopedia that will kind of dive in depth about a Roth IRA. But, you get tax-free growth with a Roth IRA. So what that means is if you have dividend stocks or high dividend ETFs or mutual funds or index funds that are returning dividends, you're not getting taxed on those dividends, which is a big deal. If it was in a regular brokerage account, every time your investments make you money, you have to pay taxes or report that on your tax return, right? So you're going to get taxed on that money. But with a tax advantaged vehicle, tax advantaged account like a Roth IRA, all that money that is compounding over time is tax free. Big benefit. And the bigger benefit, I should say, compared to a 401k, is that when you go to withdraw your money at retirement, it's tax free, right? Let me say that again. When you go to take money out of your Roth IRA at retirement, it's tax free, right? So you get 30 years of capital gains and dividends, and you go to start withdrawing that money little bit by little bit, you don't have to pay any taxes on that money, which is fantastic, right? Another big benefit is compared to a 401k. With a Roth IRA, you can invest into individual stocks. You can invest in individual stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, index funds, bonds. You can even buy, you could buy, like a gold ETF, so you're exposed to precious metals, and all those other kinds of things. So a Roth IRA is very powerful in that, you get way more options to choose from versus a 401k where, depending on the management company that you're going with, they only offer a certain amount of funds. They don't offer individual stocks, individual bonds, or individual bond indexes or whatever. They say you go with this, or this, right? With a Roth IRA, you can invest in almost anything. You can invest in Apple or Amazon or Google or whatever, right? Whatever have you. So the other, it's not so much a benefit. It's sort of kind of a drawback. With a 401k, you can invest $19,500. With a Roth IRA, you can only invest $6,000 per year. When I started with my own Roth, they only allowed, I think, 5,500, and then only in the last year did they offer 6,000. And I believe next year it'll probably be 6,000, if not 6,500. It seems to be like this increment where they just kind of like add 500 every other year or so. But anyways, those are the differences between the accounts and the benefits for a Roth IRA. So what do I do? What does Eugen do? And how do I use a Roth IRA to, for me to, be making $1 million? So in my own Roth IRA, like I said earlier, I'm invested with Fidelity, and I'm invested into Fidelity's S&P 500 index, or Fidelity's 500 index that follows the S&P 500 index, and that is called FXAIX, right? Currently, I have about $31,000 in cash value invested into that index, with about $8,000 in capital gains, right? And I stayed invested through the crash, or I'm sorry, through the recession that just occurred due to coronavirus, and I just I maxed it out at the beginning of the year. So when the huge crash came in March, I saw my account value just drop significantly. Kind of a panic, kind of a freak out, but leaning back on my principles for my own investment strategy, I stayed invested. I never took the money out. I never sold out. I just kept the money there and let it just grow. And luckily, as of the recording as of this video, the index has returned. But I want to put, kind of in my last video with the 401k, I want to kind of show you the math, So right now I have it at 30,000. I want to have it at 36, maybe 42,000 in the next 2 years. And I've been investing in the Roth IRA. This is probably my 4th year, I believe. So I have maybe like another year or two. I'm always going to max it out as much as possible if I can. But I want to show you some quick math about if you invest into a Roth IRA, right? Say 5 years at $6,000 a piece, you're going to have $30,000. If you never ever put another dollar into that account, these are the potential returns. With a couple of assumptions. One, you're invested into an S&P 500 index, which based on historical data since 1920, the return over the long term has been about I believe 10.2, 10.3%, right? Annual returns. But in the last 50 years, I believe it's only been between 8 and 10%. I'll put a link down below in the description that has more information on that topic. But here is, if I had $30,000 in a Roth IRA and I never added another dollar to it, these are my potential returns. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, there you go. So, I'll put a screenshot up. I don't know why I keep doing a phone, but I'll put a screenshot up. But anyways, in 35 years, when it comes time for, me to retire and, hang it all up, really it's probably about 20 years now, 25 years, because of, you could start withdrawing money at, I think, 52. But I would have $440,000 in this account if I never added another dollar after 30,000, right? If I maxed it out 4 or 5 years in a row, these are the potential returns that I could have based on historical data invested into an index like the S&P 500 index, okay? So where do I get all this information? I got this from Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins, and I recommend if you don't have that book, you should at least check it out. He has a website as well. You can quickly Google. I'll include a link down in the description below. But I'm invested into an S&P 500 index in both of my retirement accounts because I believe in, the science. I believe in the historical data behind it. So, moving on, what is my long-term strategy with a Roth IRA? Well, just like I said in my 401k video, Eugen is pretty ambitious. He's investing in a lot of different things, and there's always the risk that I may lose it all one day. But I will still have my Roth IRA working hard for me, and I will still have my 401k working hard for me. All right. So even if I lose it all, come time for retirement, I will still have a nest egg built up. Just a couple thoughts on you as a person and what you should do, or what are your next action steps, right? Look for a Roth IRA, a brokerage account that offers it. Vanguard, Schwab, Fidelity, M1 Finance. even if you can't fund it all $6,000 in a single year, right? Even if you can't fund it, at least get some money in there to work for you, right? This is money that's going to grow over time. This is money that's going to grow tax-free over time, which is a huge benefit, because again, if I wanted to withdraw all $400,000 in one, lump sum, boom, I can do that without a problem, at least as of this video. I don't know if rules will change in the future. With a 401k, I can withdraw money, sure, but I'm going to be paying taxes on that. And that's the problem. You're going to be paying taxes on money that belongs to you. So, my long-term strategy is to hold this index, hold the Roth IRA account, never sell out of it, never pull out money for the long term. It's part of my, trying to achieve $1 million in assets or net worth, whichever comes first. Some people say, well, you can't include retirement accounts in that calculation, but who cares? Sue me, bro. I don't care. But that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm using a Roth IRA for. I really recommend if you don't have one, you should at least consider looking into getting one. Put it on autopilot, just $100 every month, $200 every month, and use a compound interest calculator to kind of determine, what your potential returns are in the future. I'm a strong believer in maxing out your retirement accounts as soon as possible, if you can, if you're allowed to, and then work on a taxable account, something else, but everyone's plans, everyone's circumstances, everyone's strategies are different. For me, I'm just very fortunate that I can max out my Roth IRA and my 401k every single year. So with all that said, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope I was able to provide you some value. If you liked what you saw, please let me know down below in the comments. Hit the like button or the dislike button if everything I'm talking about is one huge lie. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell if you wouldn't mind, and I hope to talk to you guys in the comments. If you want some more additional information on kind of what I'm doing, I run a blog as well, my own personal blog. It's called letsmakeamill.com. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Shoot me a comment, and hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.